Hi friends, it's your art teacher, Miss Barnett, and today we are going to be learning with our Smarty Arty Brains a material and a tool that you use all the time and I bet you've never even thought about. We're going to use our hands and we're going to use paper to tear. And the most important thing about today before we get started is you're going to think about your thumb and your index finger and where you're putting them on the paper and how that is going to affect or cause the paper to tear differently. So, we are going to make lots of shapes today and we're going to do lots of practice. So let's get started. So paper is made of fibers, much like my mask is made of fibers. So if you look very closely, you can see the weaving of my mask. And paper, even though it's very hard to see, is made the same way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of copy paper and we're going to practice tearing. So maybe we want to try, I'm going to hold with my index finger and my thumb, putting my fingers close together, and I'm tearing with the grain here. And you can tell I'm tearing with the grain, and here's that fiber we were talking about, just like in my mask. Do you see the fiber of the paper, friends? Right there. And I can tell that I've torn with the grain because it makes usually a very nice even line. Let's try tearing against the grain. You try tearing some papers. Let's practice. Now we don't want to tear our paper too small. Otherwise we won't have enough shapes or too many shapes to work with, and it'll be very hard and we'll lose our paper. So just practice really quickly tearing with and against the grain. Good job. All right, friends, so now what I'm going to need you to get after we've practiced is you can use construction paper that I've torn in half or cut in half, and you can get your mom and dad to help you with that. You can use newspaper or magazine paper for this project. And I just happen to have around my classroom some leftover painted papers from a project from last year that I'm going to use for this. But any kind of paper that you have will work as long as it's a different color from your background paper so it'll show up. So what I want us to do now is just take a couple of minutes and practice tearing some shapes. I want you to leave at least one big shape. And you need at least 5 shapes that you really like. Let's get started. I'm going to speed up the tape so you can watch me work. Let's take a moment and let's practice tearing a circle. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold with your pincher and your thumb and very gently turn the paper, tear off a little bit at a time, and turn the paper as we tear. And that's got a pretty close circle right there. What if I want to tear a triangle? Let's try a triangle. I can tear one side, and there's 2 sides, and look, 1, 2, 3, a triangle. So cool. So practice tearing some shapes, get about 5 that you like, and let's stop. Okay, my friends, I've torn lots of different shapes from my paper. I left some big shapes. I think this one's my favorite shape that I've made so far. And then I'm going to get my background paper. I'm going to use black today, and we can either make it horizontal laying on its side or vertical standing up, whatever you feel like will fit your picture the best. And you're going to need some glue. I'm going to use a glue stick today. I think it's the easiest. So when we use our glue stick, friends, we're going to very carefully take off the top. We want to push him up just a little bit by turning. We do not, that's a no-no. Keep turning him until he's super big. He'll break and he'll get dried out and yucky. So we want to just use a little bit. Solamente necesitas usar un poco pegamento to use and not a lot. And when we're done with him, we're going to make sure we put the top back on until he clicks. Did you hear that? Let's do it again. We put the top on our glue until it clicks. Good job. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just play with my picture and my papers and figure out what kind of picture I'm going to make. So I'm going to move my papers around, decide, okay. This kind of is looking like a flower to me. I can change my shapes and move things around. I like it. If I need another shape, I can tear it. But I should mostly have about what I need to finish my arrangement. I think these might make some good leaves for my plant. I don't know. Turn it this way. Oh, I can overlap things. I can put them on top of one another and on top of or behind to make it look like it's got space. So pretty. I think I like this, so I'm gonna start gluing it down. I'm gonna start with what's gonna be the furthest behind in my picture, which is going to be this piece. I'm gonna undo my glue again. I'm gonna move the glue, my paper to the side and glue away from my paper. I can see that I put a nice amount of glue down. I'm going to take my fingers, press it down, count to 5. Help me count really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can do the upside down paper test. It's not wiggling off. Good deal. We're ready to keep going. So now I'm just going to keep gluing. I glue my paper just like that. Help me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. Let's keep going. I'm going to speed up the tape. All right, friends, here's my finished torn paper artwork. I made a flower out of mine. You can make whatever you want out of your paper. I cannot wait to see your amazing creations, and I hope you have a really good time doing this. Don't forget when you're done with your glue stick to turn him down a little bit and put the top on until it clicks. Good job, friends. I think these are going to be so beautiful. See you next time. Bye.